Hello everyone, I am Urkru, I am the League Sim Head, and I will be your host tonight for the Season 42 ISFL draft, where we will see where the members of this draft class are going to be headed. With me, I have three amazing co-hosts. I will let them introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I am Bobby, GM for the New Orleans second line, and in addition to reading for my team, I'll be also reading notes for the Sarasota Sailfish and Honolulu Hahalua.
I am Slate. I'm the general manager of the Orange County Otters, also known as OCO or OCO or OSO or ACA. I think were all of the pronunciations I was supposed to use on this stream. In addition to all of those teams, I'll also be reading for Yellowknife, Baltimore, and San Jose.
And hi everyone, my name is Zeagle1. My player is on the Arizona Outlaws, and in addition to Arizona, I will be reading for New York and in Chicago.
All right. Thank you for joining me, guys. And with that, I think we're ready for the first pick. Hobie, if you can.
And all right, so with the honor of the first overall pick, my New Orleans second line
Uh,
select select Swoosh, aka Dino Nuggets, cornerback for the Tijuana Luchadores. So, last season was about the first of, the retooling, the rebuilding phase, and we wanted to, scout the large draft pool of many draft fees in order to upgrade our overall talent pool. And with this pick, it was between First Fray and Swoosh, but we wanted to go in a sort of younger direction in terms of like, new blood and to have a sort of hype culture change, to have new users in, experience Nola for the first time. It also helps that, Dino has an insane earning streak. Like I think he's already like top 5 in the league with over $100 million, if I'm not mistaken. So, and in addition to the money earning, he's very knowledgeable with the inner workings for a newbie, like rivaling even some of the GMs that I've talked to. And we just felt like at Nola that he was just a surefire pick to pair with Baz, another great user we picked up in S41 in order to have our tandem for the future. So,
all right.
we love this pick, and the guy's a great guy.
Yeah, incredible pick. Very obvious one overall candidate, but super well deserving. Really excited to see what he does with you all.
It looks a really solid pickup here. Next up, it's my team, the Berlin Fire Salamanders. And with the second pick, they choose a trade.
Oh, wow. A trade already.
We're way too early with these. The season 42 round 1 second pick from Berlin goes to Chicago in exchange for pick number 8 of this draft. A first rounder for next draft, and 1 million in season 42 salary cap. And with that, we move to, I think, Slate.
Nope, that'll be me. All right, with the second overall pick, the Chicago Butchers select Majesty Outhouse, cornerback, Kansas City Coyotes, First Fray. Ever since he decided to venture outside of the counting channel, First Fray has been one of Chicago's most valuable members. They tried to trade up to the first overall pick to get him, but Nola wouldn't play ball, and a Chicago team was absolutely hyped to have a chance to trade up to second overall to get him after Nola made the mistake of skipping him. I'd like to welcome First Fray back to the team. And just a sidebar, I love First Fray. He's terrible at Town of Salem, but other than that, one of my favorite users to talk to in the league.
The shots.
First Fray's great. I think this is like one of the highest drafted HO members I've seen in a long time, actually, thinking about it. So he's one of the good ones in HO, I suppose.
I mean,
and I wanted to add I wanted to add, it was like I said, I didn't mention this, but it was a tough decision between him and Swish, considering that they were pretty much the top two consensus like cornerback and really draft prospects. From what I gathered. So whoever we didn't pick was going to definitely get picked here. Great
Uh,
pick.
I mean, first phrase, a great user. He's a good werewolf player, and
Oh yeah.
he's a great guy overall. It's a solid pickup here by Chicago, and they're getting better. They are good, and they're getting better with that one. So next
Yep.
up, we have Moby again with the next pick.
Oh, oh wow. Really? All right. So for the third overall pick, courtesy of the trade we made with Berlin for the first overall pick, Nola at third overall selects Chicken Lips, Hank Madukas, tight end from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. Now, just like Swoosh, Chicken Lips has been a great user, a great young earning user, a new create, and it's at a position of dire need at tight end. And what luck that we were able to scoop him at this early. Some people might say it's a reach, but sometimes when you need to fill a great need, like at a position that you haven't had for a couple of seasons, you make the pick no matter what. And much like I said, much like Swoosh, he's a great earner, very productive receiver on and off the field, great culture guy like Swoosh. And I'm just overall happy that we were able to pick up these two guys this high and very quickly overall. So
Two very solid pickups here by New Orleans. I am excited to see how they're going to end up with their build. And with that, if no one else has anything to add here, we're going to move on to pick number 4. With the fourth pick, the Colorado Yeti will select Federico Americano, user MN Muse from the Norfolk Seawolves. Musi is a very well-known user and HO in definitely in PBE, and I think here, and it's as the Colorado GM say, they consider Musi to be one of the premier users around, as he uses his incredible graphics talent to make fantastic contributions to the league. He was an incredibly popular name in their war room all season long, and they are so incredibly excited to bring him onto the team. At this point, I
very
think,
great pickup for Colorado. Oh, sorry.
whoever got picked between through 1 and 4 could be interchanged. So they're very 4 solid picks so far.
Oh yeah. Any of these four guys, like regardless of whatever people's mock drafts had them, I'd say these are probably the consensus top four guys. Regardless.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who would have a bad thing to say about Moosey similarly to First Ray. I think those two are definitely just like incredible users, great contributions to the league. I feel like we're saying too much nice stuff about recreates. I feel like we're supposed to be being meaner, but with these two, like it's really hard to do that, honestly. So
and you can see it's perfectly balanced. We have two great new users and two great recreates already, like in the first 4 picks. Perfectly balanced.
As it should be.
Yes.
Moving on to New York and the next pick. Who has that?
I think that might be or was it me?
I was on mute.
Pick.
Sorry about that.
Ah, Ziegel, come
Oh
on.
boy, I know. Sorry, with the 5th overall pick in the draft, the New York Silverbacks select Martin Bachman, running back, London Royals. And notes from Zane. I'm sorry. When coming into the draft, we knew that the running back was going to be something we wanted to look for, as our longtime running back sloth is starting to get deeper in regression. Martin has proven himself as an impressive new user with his media and a great scouting conversation. We think he'll be a huge part of our offense in the near future, and we're excited to bring him to the Big Apple.
So I'm in London with them. I think Martin Bachman may be like a bit of a slept-on new user in this class. I don't know how active they are like broadly. They're like out there, but in London they've just been incredible in the locker room. Super active, make really great graphics. Really, really excited for them to be drafted this high.
I think he's the highest running back we've seen drafted in a while. So hopefully,
That's
huh?
that's true, and we have to appreciate that Stevio render.
Hmm?
It's
Just really exudes the confidence that he's picked this high.
I appreciate the silverbacks on the jumbotron in the back. That's a great touch by guess.
yeah,
Mid.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
job, Mid.
There's some
gotta
amazing
love that.
graphics here.
You gotta love that New York energy.
Mhm.
Yep, a very solid pick here.
Oh, this is me. Sorry. Like with the
All
sixth
right,
pick,
next.
then the San Jose SaberCats will select Blacksmith Andre, offensive lineman, user Muford from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. I'm obligated to say, because they have sent me these notes, Muford is a bum. He will claim he knew he was going to at this pick all along, but he's a liar. He thought Berlin would take him. He thought Chicago would move ahead of us to take him. But we held strong in our belief that other teams knew he was a loser and he would easily fall to us at 6. And we're happy he did. Buford and CK are super close. He and Russ have bonded over all kinds of things like music, dogs, Slay the Spire. What Buford doesn't know is that Russ recently got into Dark Souls games, and he's a big fan of his name and render choice here. So San Jose hopes he's happily surprised by all of this. Welcomes him to the team.
Is
It's
this
a
the
great steal at
highest
6 overall.
and no line has ever been picked?
For sure,
I
no. Way back in S25, I know that Glims was taken at like 4th overall, I think. Or 5th,
yes,
maybe.
yeah.
That's like one I can
I
think of off the
think
top of my head because it was one of my draft classes, but I'm sure there have been other really high lines.
I mean, it's a solid pick. It's a position of need now, with
Yes.
how more variable human O-line are, and it's despite what the San Jose GM say, Mufford is a great user. It's a
that's
10-10
a
pick
hell
all
of a
around.
pick, a steal of a pick at 6 overall.
Ooh, steel card at 6.
That's the first time we said
Open it out
steal
early.
tonight, so cross that off your bingo cards, everyone.
Yeah, I mean that
Uh,
was just said for the bingo card, no more nor less.
Yeah.
All right,
we gotta get them bingo cards up.
alrighty. Moving on to pick number 7, where Austin will select a trade.
Wow.
It is a
Wow.
trade. Austin will receive Colorado's next season first rounder and Inspector Gadget for that 7th pick right here, with which Colorado is going to select RE38, user Alaris, position quarterback from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Honestly, it's weird to see quarterbacks getting picked that high. It's not a
Pretty.
surprise. Alaris is a great user, but seeing a quarterback that high is a surprise, at least to me.
What did Colorado say about them?
And
Maybe
let's
they'll
see what they
explain.
say. They say that Alaris was a locker room hero for them during their previous career as triple option. This time they're back with a vengeance, and it was an absolute no-brainer to bring him back to play in Colorado.
All right. Well, that didn't explain it. I'm pretty sure they're swapping. I'm pretty sure they're because they just drafted Infinite last season, who's already swapped a quarterback for them.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
believe that Alaris is planning to swap. I don't remember exactly what position, but I think it was something on defense. Is what he was thinking. But I don't know
Yeah,
what they'll end up doing.
This is definitely smells of a swapping pick.
yeah,
Because like you guys said, the Birdman was picked last year to be their QB of the future.
yeah. It
Yeah.
makes sense.
It's a very good pick. I think I like the pick,
Yeah. I know he was great.
versatility.
He was a great
Found
locker
all
room
that.
addition for them last time on his last player, and I think this time he's looking to earn a bit better and be a bit more active in the league. I know he's like also really close with Jets, who just got traded to Colorado recently. So I think the locker room will really enjoy having him. Good addition for that team.
And I like the render on this one. I will comment on any render I like. I'm sorry, but I have to.
No, the renders are like the best part of the draft, honestly.
Um, and with number 8, I am still on the clock, as the Berlin First Salamanders are going to select a trade. A trade.
Oh,
It's a trade.
Yeah. So you want
Berlin
to read it? Or?
will fall back to 19, receiving also a first rounder for next season from San Jose, giving to the Sabercats this pick along with the 30th pick of this draft. And with the 8th pick,
okay.
the Sabercats
With the 8th
select.
pick. Oh, okay. You're just gonna say it wrong. Sorry.
Mm.
Oh, they'll select Josh Patterson, quarterback for the London Royals. User Tyler Coaxum. I'll read what San Jose has to say about him. We wanted to move up here to get ahead of some other QB needed teams to solidify our chances at getting the guy we think can lead San Jose once Owen Farrell has kicked the bucket. No, he's gonna just die when he retires. Okay. Tyler has been very active in rookie Discord and has taken quickly to earning TPE and built up a solid bank. He's in the market for a league job to help sustain his cash, also does media and podcasts and gabbles a little bit on the side. Seems to be a positive person who's excited about the league and his player, which he referred to as his son. There's always a risk involved with taking a true rookie as your quarterback, but after talking between CK and Russ, they felt confident enough to not only add him to lead San Jose, but to trade up and ensure that they got him. Can't wait to get them in the locker room and start building him up to take over for that chump, Owen Farrell. Another user I've gotten the pleasure to know really well in London locker room. They're just amazing, like really, really excited, really enthusiastic, really positive, really had a ton of energy. And I know they're really excited to stay at quarterback and have that chance to be a new user who starts at quarterback like right away. So it's cool that they found an opportunity to do that, and San Jose's excited about doing that. Last time I can remember that happening was probably Megs in like S26, so it's been a really long time, I think. It's very cool to see it here.
Yeah, it's great to see true rookies being given chances at the quarterback.
Yeah, recreate quarterbacks are the worst.
Definitely true.
I would agree. I agree. No, we're
All right,
scrubs. We're scrubs.
Oh,
Yeah, go on.
yes,
Sorry.
yeah. All right, with the 9th pick, the Orange County Otters will select Reginald Shrubbery, user Shrub02, running back for the Minnesota Grey Ducks. Shrub is just an Orange County legend at this point. He's a former GM for us and stayed I think the full 13 season career with his first player, Bender Rodriguez, set the league tackle record for a career with us and is like top 10 in a ton of other categories. So hopefully he's really excited at returning to Orange County. We really love him in the locker room. He was like really a key user when Beck and I took over back in S37 at sort of helping start the rebuild and add energy to the locker room. So really excited to get him back. We really thought he might go earlier than this, so we were really pleased to see him fall down to pick 9 and just end up in our laps. And it was a really easy pick for us to make.
They're saying second verse, same as the first. Yeah, nothing more to add. You know, always nice to see legends returning to their old teams to help jumpstart and add to whatever they're building. So I mean, OCO is pretty much in contender mode right now, and this helps them greatly.
Yes. Can back me up at running back.
That is true.
All right, I think it's me again. Just reading all the picks right here. Yellowknife selects at pick number 10. Dan Dandrews, offensive line user Sburbine. They come from Minnesota. Yellowknife has this to say.
Ah.
From early on in scouting, we knew Spurvine would be near top of our wish list. On top of being an active and friendly user in ISFL spaces, Spur came with glowing recommendations from our SHL counterparts. They're a good teammate and a strong earner, and Yellowknife was thrilled when Andrews was still there for us at 10.
I'm not. Hey, it's Yellowknife. You know, they always have a talent for sniffing out the great O linemen. And with Dandrews falling to the lap after Mufu was being taken, this is just again another steal for Yellowknife to continue their really very almost Spurs-like dynastic run. Maybe not dynastic, but it's a Spurs-like run.
Yeah, at this point, like I just assume if Yellowknife takes someone, they're going to be a really great user. Yellowknife, that's really well managed.
Alrighty. Do we have anything else to
So
add? If not, we're
nah,
gonna move
pretty
on
much.
to pick 11.
All right, pick 11 for the So pick 11. I will read for the Sarasota Sailfish. ABH cannot make it, but he's a fellow homie. I got him. So with the 11th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Ace Anderson, cornerback. No, oh, not cornerback. Hold on, my mistake. I was tired from work. Give me 1 second. Running back, my mistake, not cornerback. Running back, Dang Wookie, aka Ace Anderson, running back from Dallas Bird Dogs. Now, according to ABH's notes, he says, midway through our scouting conversation with Dang Wookie, it was already apparent to him that this was a player we needed to have on the Sailfish. The connection just felt natural, and they showed a level of interest in the league that I didn't see from many other prospects. For Sarasota, there were top 3 or 4 prospects, so we were ecstatic to see them still available at pick 11. Keep your eye on Ace Anderson, and he'll soon be the Wookie of the year. Oh my God, ABH.
He had
Wookie
to
of the year.
scoop that low.
Wookie of the year. Oh Lord.
All right.
Okay. I mean, running back at the 11th pick, but to help bolster their already great rookie quarterback who had over, I think, 5,000 passing yards and over 3-to-1 TD ratio. I wouldn't be surprised if the Sailfish get even stronger and even diversify their already strong attack. So this is a good pick, very good pick.
Yeah, we were really excited about this user. If Shrub had gone before our pick, I think this was one of the couple of users we were really considering there being at the same position.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
With pick 12, the Baltimore Hawks select Luigi Numberoni, I believe is how it's pronounced. User Star Wars.
Number 1. Luigi number 1.
Oh, number 1. Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it. Okay. User Star Wars quarterback for the Dallas Bird Dogs. So what team am I reading? Baltimore has this to say. They Star Wars wrote 24 media articles in about a month's time. So if you haven't seen or heard of them by now, where have you been? They're one of the most prolific active users in this DSL class, and dropping down to us at 12 was a gift from heaven. They are a recent Gemini Media Award winner for Best Author. Shoutouts to Baron with that amazing media series. Star Wars is a recreate user who brings with them a big bank and big personality to Baltimore that they are ecstatically pleased to make room in the nest for. As a cornerback, it was icing on the cake as it bolsters up their secondary for future success at the Hawks. They are sure Star Wars is working on an article already as we speak about how he fell too far, maybe because Luigi still thinks he's playing soccer, but we hope that together we shall be laughing with many rings in our future together. So I believe what that sentence was intended to.
Yeah, I mean, I love Star Wars. Let's Play as his Discord name, and most people know him as. We were both drafted to Portland in season 24 and to Arizona in season 25, and we spent 13 or so seasons together before he took a little break from the league before recreating. I'm super excited to see him back, and I know we've already had some fun conversations about various sports. So, Baltimore, I hope you're ready to debate, if LeBron's better than Jordan and all that fun stuff.
Oh my God, I want to be there. I want to be there for these.
Oh, the the level of just toxicity. Ooh, it's gonna be fresh. Other than that, good pick.
Solid. All right, Moby, stage is
All
yours.
right, all right, strap in, boys. All right, with the 13th overall pick, second to last pick, courtesy of our trade with Arizona. New Orleans selects CK Octavian Speedings. He's listed as wide receiver, or no, he's listed as a linebacker now for Dallas, but linebacker for Dallas. Now, this is one similar to the this is a pick similar to the Aliris pick, where you might be thinking Nola doesn't need wide receivers. We already have a couple in the works, and he's willing to swamp to whatever position we need. So this was a pick that well, my personal conversation with him, he's technically he's a recreate, but he's still like a, how do I put it? His first play was like a red shirted. He was red shirted because he retired early and had, because he wanted to learn the system again. And through my conversation with him, he's clearly shown through how well he's picked up the league again, how well he's earning, his enthusiasm, and being in the Dallas locker room, because again, I was with Dallas, DSFL, very, very hype, very, informative and all around great guy. And I'm glad we were able to bring him to the locker room.
I love the render here. I mean, the last few renders have been impeccable. And so is the next one. Bring us home, Moby.
Aha. With the 14th and final pick of the first round, courtesy of Cape Town Crash, finally breaking through for the first time. Congrats, boys. Nola selects Coma Bro, aka Honey Humphreys, safety from the Tijuana Luchadores. Now, like the lit, well, okay. For Nola, we are very surprised that Como fell this far and was still on the board at the 14th overall pick. So we, like Chicken Lips, we needed a dire need at safety because both our safeties have aged out or about to age out in 1 to 2 seasons. And with Como Bro being a Tijuana lifer, with my fellow GM Jason and one of my users Baz, it was a no-brainer, especially after our conversations with them. Great user, attends to detail. Wants to connect continue the NOLA T1 to NOLA pipeline that's been so strong all these years.
This render.
Yeah.
My God.
It's amazing.
And
no words.
And
amazing.
My favorite pick of the draft that triggered so many people from what I've rumored, with the 15th overall pick, essentially like a first round pick, even though it's the first pick of the second round. With the 15th overall pick, the New Orleans second line select Frostbite, aka Keanu Calhoun, wide receiver from the Dallas Bird Dogs. Now, this was the big one. Obviously, we all know the legend of Frost. Frost Lamap, Frost sucks. But this pick is a pick of the future. This is a pick of BPA, best pick available, and I am surprised. I'm genuinely surprised that he fell to us. And of course, him and I go way back in this league, playing against each other in the AFC and whatnot. So I had a conversation with him saying like, hey, we might be able to, draft you and, at a position of need and the best pick available at wide receiver. It just felt like a no-brainer if he were to fall to this, that we would pick him up. And for everybody listening, sorry that we messed up the first rounders task, but it is what it is.
It is
yeah,
what it is.
I can't forgive you for the game for the first rounders point task thing. Like just swap. I respect you for giving Como the first round pick, right, as a new user. I think that's really great to have. But like, come on, the TP.
I mean,
hey, now I'm gonna be listening on game days where they're like, "Oh, Nola sucks Lamap with Frost."
yeah.
No, substance of the pick, like the user. Frost was the general manager who drafted me in my first ISFL draft, so I will always have a soft spot for them. I think they're great. Hall of Fame general manager, people forget. Already one Hall of Fame user, probably a second with Carter Knocked.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe this will be a third. I don't know. We'll see.
And plus, we got that sweet insider info on the bit. I'm just playing. I don't want to sound like a tampering or whatnot. It's just a joke. But yeah, I'm just really hyped that we were able to snag him, especially with all the trades going on. People were like, I'm like, oh, he might be gone, but I'm just glad we were able to get him.
It's a solid pick.
With
I mean, it's a reach, but it's a good pick at the same time.
Definitely a reach. Yeah.
reach, okay.
All right,
When he blazes for 2,000 yards. All right,
I would believe it when I say it.
second round.
Right, second round, pick 16. Austin is on the clock, and they will select. Oh my God! They will select
Wait,
offensive
who?
lineman Brock Lesnar, user T Stalls from the Norfolk Seawolves. And let's see what the Austin GMs have to say with this one. T Stalls is an excellent user who makes every locker room they're in an excellent place to be, and they are thrilled to bring them into Austin. Offensive line was one of their few remaining needs heading into the draft, so getting an excellent user and a solid earner in the second round at that spot is all they could ask for. I agree. I mean,
Yep.
being a quarterback, I have a soft spot for offensive linemen, especially human ones, who are more useful than bots. So any OL pick is a great pick at any point.
Pretty much. Always good, like you said, Aircrow. Always good to pick up human O linemen no matter what. Any other notes, guys?
I
No,
guess not.
I mean, okay, I'll say something. I think this user, yeah, was really good in scouting. I think we were really thinking about them. We had a couple late seconds. We were kind of hoping they might fall there because their earnings, like, there were still a few users with a bit higher earning, but like you say, positional value of O line can be really high, especially for a team like Austin that's in a bit of a cap crunch with so many other good users already. So yeah, I think it's a great fit for them. Great user. Makes a ton of sense.
All right,
Yep, couldn't agree more.
let's move to
Is
the next pick.
okay, and that leads us. Give me 1 second. That leads us to Honolulu, and give me once. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm all cluttered. Okay, got it. So this leads to with the 17th overall pick, the Honolulu Hahalua select Oil Mandan, aka Stetson David, wide receiver from the Norfolk Seawolves. Now with the notes here is that if you told us Oil Man Dan would have been available at our pick of the second round, we would have called you crazy. But crazy are the other nose picking GMs that passed on this guy. He was one of the best users in sim leagues, and we explored options moving up to get him. Glad we were able to see him at this pick. You know what?
Yeah.
I can see why Icebear would say that.
Yeah, very solid pick. I think a lot of people had him in their first rounders test, so it is a bit surprising. But yeah, early second round, I think makes sense. Not too big of a fall, but definitely a bit of a fall compared to where people had it. But I think it's a great value pick. Earning obviously very good. Already a 250 TPE at the end of the season, and yeah, really excited to see what they do. I'm surprised by the Thielen render. I feel like it's been a little bit. I feel like Justin Jefferson really replaced a lot of the Thielen render, so good to see it's not completely extinct.
Yep.
It's a great render, and I think that this pick here is a scoop and score by the Hahalua. They've always been known for a team that has great wide receivers, but with Lick My Haters and Octavio Perez being towards the end of their careers, I mean, Perez has a few more seasons, but My Haters is reaching the end. You need a replacement there, and that pick is very, very solid. Let's just hope it pans out for them, because it's always good to see a pick like that shine.
Yep. All right. So let's see who's next.
Colorado's
I am next.
safety, is that?
All right.
Yep, I have the next picks, and I really like that one. I like the user here. With pick number 18, the Colorado Yeti will select Alexander Kovic, user Reno from the Kansas City Coyotes, and let's see what they have to say. When Reno fell to them in the second round, they had their war room clamoring to get him. Bringing on yet another linebacker means they've turned the position of need into a position of strength, and they also bring on someone who they believe will fit right in with the rest of the team. I have to agree here. I mean, I've known Reno for being a GM in the SMJHL in Regina, if I'm not mistaken, and they've been doing great work there with the team, with the players, and it's going to translate well here.
Really wanted this guy if we were able to have another second round pick. Just great user, great all around guy. You know, just sucks that we can't get him, but he's a great user.
Yeah. Not too much to say,
He's
just
not
straightforward, very solid
pretty
pick.
much.
Big group.
Yep. All right, next up is Berlin. Third time should be the charm here. And with the 19th pick, the Berlin Fire Salamanders will select a player. Chaos Vert, username Bubba. It's a cornerback from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. Let's see what the world has to say. We're glad to get a fantastic user like Bubba at this stage in the draft, while also being able to acquire assets to help the future of the team. Bubba is among the best in their class in SHL and PBE, and they've shown an ability to be a high-level learner, and while they got a late start in ISFL, we believe they will do the same here. We look forward to them being a great building block for Berlin. I'll be honest here, I haven't had that much participation in the Berlin scouting, with being simhead, having some real life issues come up. I wasn't around that much, but I want to welcome Bubba to the team and wish them all the best. And I will be
Yeah,
happy
Bubba.
to bond with them while they're in the locker room.
Yeah, Bubba
Bubba.
was on Orange County with our last player, Zane Kolb. They're like a really underrated piece of our locker room, I feel like, but really great user, very solid earner. Actually set the Orange County franchise record for rushing yards. I feel like kind of surprising with the franchise that old. But yeah, just great person. Really enjoyed them. We was really hoping we might get them in the second round again, but also glad to see other teams recognizing how great of a user they are. So
Also, he's underrated in town of Salem for sneaking under the radar and being winning all the time because he keeps quiet.
that matches. Yeah, I see it.
All right, moving on. We got Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Don't spend too
Right,
long looking
Sarasota.
for them. Yeah.
All right, Sarasota. With the 20th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select. Oh, a trade.
Great.
Sarasota trades this pick to receive Orange County's first round pick in S43. So take it away, Slate.
Yeah, with the 20th pick that we trade up for, the Otters select Aaron Yeager, user Mouse Amazing, wide receiver from the Pythons. Yeah, spending a first round pick to trade into the second round kind of appears strange on paper, but we really think this user is first round quality talent. Like we're definitely picking Shrub no matter what in the first round when they fell to us, but like basically after that pick, we were just trying to trade up to every team since then, and finally we were able to work out a trade with Sarasota to come up and get this user. So we're really excited to add them. They're Uptown Chord's friend in real life, like one of their closest friends, I think, actually. So very cool to see them joining the league and enjoying it so far. And we think the two of them are just going to really enjoy being in the same locker room together. We really needed a wide receiver to start taking over for Thomas Robinson's going to start regression soon, so getting a max earning wide receiver, new user, real life friend of someone on the team. Like, what more can you ask for?
I've been lucky enough to share a locker room with Mouse this season. Portland, he's a great guy. I've loved both having him in the locker room and having him catching my passes.
Yep.
Bob threat, you know, pretty much. Let them
Alright.
cook.
Let them cook. And up next is Austin. And with pick number 21, the Copperheads will select a trade. This pick goes to New York for next year's first rounder. These
A lot
first
of firsts being
rounders
thrown around.
Yeah, a
for
lot of
next year are
trades.
getting thrown around. I mean, it should be a Reddit class, so GMs are investing there.
The
Okay,
Reddit
New
class
York.
is the one after. This is like the upcoming class that's joining now that I think was a little bit smaller than some people's hopes. So that is part of it. Part of it also just a lot of great users in this class.
Anyways, so with that 21st pick, New York is going to select Wing Wang, Tijuana, Cat. What the freak is up, Win Wangs? In New York, we needed a kicker badly, and we also needed Platt badly, so we're thrilled to bring a Silverback legend to New York, and we thought trading up was worth every penny to get our long-term answer at kicker. I mean, Platt is absolutely one of my favorite guys in the league. His first player, Marlon Alexander, was an offensive lineman far better than his earning for New York during their first title run. It's a natural fit, and as someone on the team that once traded a first-round pick for a third-round pick, sometimes it makes a lot more sense than it seems like it might.
All right.
Yeah,
Yep, pretty much.
that's amazing.
Yep.
London legend, and great person. Really love that.
Great pick here. Next up, Chicago.
And back-to-back picks to read off. With the 22nd overall pick, Chicago has selected Laharm James and Dallas Bird Dogs. So, although he's just a kid from Akron, Ohio, sorry, that is the wrong L. James. He's just a kid from Memphis, Tennessee, a kicker turned defensive end. He truly embodies fighting through adversity. Fire and tenacity make him a perfect fit for the Chicago Butchers. Projected by many, including me, to be a first-round pick, we're stoked to get him in the middle of the second round. Harm, we can't wait to get you into the program and watch you grow into Chicago's next elite defender. Chop chop.
Chop chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So,
super
yeah.
active in rookie chat. Really great new user. So it's surprising to see them fall this far. I think Chicago got amazing value here. I guess the needs just lined up with other teams such that it worked out.
Chicago really rebuilt their defense like one draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on with the 23rd pick, my Orange County Otters selected King Leonidas I, user Lord Escanor, safety from the Kansas City Coyotes. Escanor is a great user that's been around for a bit. I think their first player just retired. This is their first recreate. Previously, they were pretty sure a GM in Dallas, right? I should know this. They're my player.
Yes, they were.
Yes, he stepped down. Yes,
yes.
he was
the former GM of Dallas,
yes.
ISFL GM experience, a lot of time very active, I think, in Cape Town or Philly's War Room. So I think they're really excited to have a new player, and we're really excited to add a veteran user who we know will earn well and participate in the locker room, and they're just a great overall user with this pick.
Yeah, pretty much. Great user, great recreate, tons of knowledge. I'm jealous and like as your rival that you guys are also having a great draft.
Yeah, I think there was a mock that had him in the first round that I saw just came out today, so I was very happy to see that.
I'd say yeah. I definitely think he's a first round talent that just fell because of just convenience and just
so many of the people in the draft.
Definite steal. I know I said that last round, but he's a definite steal at this late in the draft.
Yeah,
it's a great pick.
All right. And with the 24th pick, the Yellowknife Rates select Robert Rossi, cornerback for the Norfolk Seawolves. User Retu is what their Discord name is. Retu Perkele or something like that.
I think Retikele.
Retu, right? Yeah. Yellowknife says they had a first round grade on Retu, yet another first round grade. So how he managed to slip this late into the second was a mystery to them, but they are not complaining. Another SHL transplant. Leave it to the Canadian team to build a football team out of former hockey players. The Yellowknife looks forward to Rossi patrolling in their secondary for a long time.
Yep.
Retu's great. I'm his boss over the graphics grading department. He's a fine worker who has attached himself to the infinite well of money that is grading swooshes 75 graphics a week.
Jesus.
Yep.
Okay, that's borderline addiction, but who am I to judge? All right, moving on to the next pick.
All right. With Sarasota Sailfish with the 25th overall pick in the S42 draft, the Sarasota Sailfish select a trade. With this trade, the Sarasota receives Cape Town's first round pick. Cape Town's, am I reading that correct? They're Colorado's 8th, which in next season, $2 million cap from this season. In exchange, Colorado receives this pick and the next pick, back-to-back picks, and fourth round pick, 53. The 53rd pick in this draft. My bad.
Solid trade there.
Trading first round picks for second round picks. What can go wrong?
Everyone's doing, everybody's doing the negs.
Yeah.
Sarasota really stocking for next draft with Cape Town's and ours and their own, obviously. So like 3 first round picks next year.
Wait,
exciting to see.
Cape Town really started the Rams movement. Oh Lord.
Oh boy.
And anyway.
Next up we have Colorado.
Yep.
With the 25th pick of the season 42 ISFL draft, the Colorado Yeti will select Provolone Walrus, a linebacker, user TubbyTeam69, nice, from the Portland Pythons. Tim has a long history in this league and goes way back with a few of them. They were happy to bring the league's biggest Commanders fan into the fold, and they're from a very cold place, so they'll do fine in snow games. It's a solid pick here if they can make it work. I think Tim was a late create or something, which explains the low TP numbers, but considering who the user
when we scouted
is...
him, he was saying he sort of wanted to save his money on this player for future recreate, but he'd still be doing all predictions, ACs, things like that. So I think he'll still have a pretty
He's
solid
just not
career.
the most consistent updater. He's another guy I've had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with on Portland. He was the GM that replaced me when I stepped down. I loved him. Absolutely one of my favorite users in the league. One of the funniest people I've ever talked to online. And yeah, just need to whip him into shape and make him earn a little bit more, and this will be a steal of a pick.
Alright, next up, with the 26th pick, it's the Yeti again, and they will select tight end National Treasure, user Electric Tree. I think that is a first gen, that's a true rookie, from the Tijuana Luchadores. And let's see what the GM say. They believe that Electric Tree will be the year's most exciting DSFL we ever create, and they were stoked to see them fall this far. The Colorado GMs think this user has the makings of an absolute draft steal, and they're looking forward to see how they progress in the league. I have to agree there. I'm excited to see Electric Tree earn, grow, and blossom.
I think this pick really puts Colorado on the map.
That's true.
Colorado's on a lot of maps already, though. Like right in the middle of the U.S.
But none of them are maps to the Declaration of Independence. Until now.
All right,
Thanks,
next
I'll be
up,
here all night.
we have a very
Um,
rare this draft New Orleans pick.
very rare. Well, with the 27th overall pick, New Orleans selects Sonny, aka Sonny Johnson, defensive tackle from the Kansas City Coyotes. Now, pretty much this, I get the low slash late in the draft. The Warren right now, we were deciding to go with BPA slash try to fill for needs, and we really needed a defensive tackle here, and we were luckily able to have one of well, practically the only DT in this draft class fall to us, and it was a no-brainer. And he's a bit on the a bit on the quiet side, but he's a good user from my conversations with him, and he's a very good he's a good earner, decent earner, and he should slot to be our starting DT in years for seasons to come.
All right, I have nothing to add here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
another
pretty.
great user. What on our list of late second rounds we might get, and then got taken before we could pick. So great pickup. With the 28th pick, the Otters did select um, Elliot Bukowski, kicker punter from the Minnesota Grey Ducks, user Jimmy64. Being on a team with Jimmy has honestly been a dream of mine since S25. We joined together and started interacting via Twitter, RIP, and just commenting on forum media and things like that, and really kind of hit it off. We've been pretty good friends since then, but haven't been teammates ever, which is kind of strange. So when we had a chance to take him in this draft, kicker is a pretty big position of need for us. We got to replace our S36 kicker that will be regressing soon. So just jumped at the opportunity. Really excited to have them on the team. I think they're a hilarious person and will bring a lot of energy to the locker room. Also
Jimmy's
find it
great.
amusing that we took him with Cape Town's pick. That was the team his former two players were on, so kind of fitting in some sense. I don't know.
I have a similar experience with Jimmy. He's a great guy, and he has a very nice field goal percentage. Hopefully, it's a little bit better for y'all in the pros.
I don't know. It's pretty. Yeah. If it stays as it
So,
is, at least it'll be nice.
All right, solid pick up here. Moving on to another rare occurrence, a New Orleans pick.
all right, with the 29th overall pick, the first pick in the third round, the New Orleans second line selects Mateo Eldridge Cove, running back from the Portland Pythons. At this point, again, this late in the draft, we were deciding to go with BPA, and we noticed that he's a high TPE user, and we talked to him, about potentially being drafted as a, secondary running back to help build our offense up, and he pretty good user, pretty chill, very good earner. I'm surprised he fell this far to us with his level of TP and his production, but you know, it works out. Sometimes things work out. You get another steal. So
That's awesome.
like
We're on
the
the
pick.
same SHL minors team. Won a couple championships there together. Uh, Absolutely love the guy, and I'm really bummed that we traded all our picks to you because I would have loved for Arizona to pick them.
Oh, anything but Arizona. We love you, Katasa, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
Co-signed to every other ASFC team, I think.
Yeah.
well,
All right. With the 30th pick, another ASFC team, San Jose will select Bruce Tallis, user Bruce Tallis, offensive lineman on the London Royals. San Jose GM say, we're loading up at the trenches to help us prepare for the future with our new quarterback, Josh Patterson. Bruce was a very interesting scouting conversation, especially because they were only really able to speak after midnight most nights. But once they established that connection, it was clear that he was a really welcoming individual with a really cool story. Once he gets settled in, he's going to be a huge asset for the team moving forward. And he's also another musician, so the SJS big band continues to grow. Apparently, that's a thing. Even if he doesn't want to toot his own horn, he could at the very least, record us with his sound engineering expertise. So that's pretty cool. I did not know this because we also had trouble getting in contact with him with his schedule hours.
All right.
Yep.
Let's move on here if no one has to add anything.
Yes, this is me as well. Sorry about that. With pick 31, Baltimore will select Gnarl Hecklenberg, user Xlate, linebacker from the Tijuana Luchadores. And Baltimore says Baltimore goes 2 for 2 with picking recreates and home run selections, taking Gnarl Hecklenberg. Xlate's first player was a rushing powerhouse in Lonnie Jackson for Philadelphia, and now will look to become a defensive stud in his new home in Baltimore. Coming from Tijuana, Dude Man was excited to pick up a user with his connections and have the insight to bring in another luchador into the nest this draft to secure that Tijuana-Baltimore pipeline. He couldn't stop singing his praises as a high potential steal pick that made the decision an easy one to make. At least this pick of ours in the draft correctly knows what sport they are playing, so we're already on the way up.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have another New Orleans pick.
Wow, we're getting all these picks. Oh, I'm so puffy. I'm playing. So with the 32nd overall pick, we in New Orleans select another trade. So with this trade, we send our 32nd pick, which is originally Colorado's pick from the AK trade, and the 35th overall pick, which is originally from Austin, for next year's Cape Town second round pick, Doc Fireball and Striker Brown, to help bolster our depth and take it away for Colorado. I will say the reason we made this trade is because at this point we decided to consolidate assets for the future.
It makes complete sense for a team on the build-up. All right. Next up, we have
we're not there yet, but
pick number 32, and the Yeti will select. Okay, I love that render. It's amazing. They select third burglar, user Poop Nukem, sorry, a cornerback from the London Royals. Let's see what the GM say. They hope the infamous third burglar can burgle some interceptions. What could scare QBs more than a literal nuke of poop? All right.
Yeah,
Oh my
best name in
lord.
the draft by far. My warring wouldn't let me trade up to number 1 to get him, unfortunately. Just
I
incredible.
love some of y'all. Look, my fellow GMs, I love some of y'all, but your puns are like, oh my lord.
I mean, some of these bumps are nukes of poop.
Nukes of poop. All right, good pick. Probably a steal too.
Yep,
Let's see,
it's
where
a
are
slipper.
we? Okay.
Thanks, Eagle is up with New York.
Yep. So with the 33rd overall pick in the draft, the New York Silverbacks will select offensive lineman, just a old shoe. Just a old shoe defensive end, Kansas City. The hole in the name threw me off. User Cheeky Demiki. Quote from our friend Zam.
Cheeky
He
beaky
might be
donkey,
just
oh
a
my
O
god.
shoe, but he is threw me off. He's so much more than a shoe to us. We're thrilled to be able to land someone with the level of Discord activity that he has this late in the draft, and are confident he can be a huge contributor to our team. Yeah, I love the render. I've seen a few graphics with that, and it's always amusing people to incorporate a shoe to a render.
Yeah, this user was super active pre DSFL draft. I think they were a first round pick in the DSFL draft. So a bit surprising to see them also far here. I'm really excited to see if New York can sort of bring them back into being more active like they were back then. I think they were really funny and had this great render. Really excited to see more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. With the 34th pick, San Jose selects the Red Panda safety user Lamore 7. from the Minnesota Grey Ducks. San Jose says the quest to gather all of the pandas in San Jose is coming along nicely. They have a big connection with Lemorse through G2019 and the Basketball League, so we think he can be a big steal for us this late in the draft. We need relief for the Potato Man, which is Russ Drives the Bus player, in the secondary, so if he can hang out in the DSFL and stack some TPE, he could be just that for us in a couple of seasons.
Slipper again.
Yeah.
Potential steal. Pretty much everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on, with pick number 35, the Colorado Yeti will select cornerback Trevor Prowler, user a tribe called Steph from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. And I quote the GMs, "We thought a tribe called Steph's positive attitude and demeanor was reason enough to bring them to Colorado, but we also believe they have the makings of a serious contributor to the Yeti secondary, not so far in the future." That's another sleeper pick here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, got nothing to add. I kind of agree.
Right?
Let me see. Let's see. Sorry.
I think we're
Let
ready
me
to move on
see.
to the next pick.
So,
Yep, moving on to
Yeah.
36.
36 should be Chicago, I think.
Yep. So with the 36th overall pick, Chicago selects Isia OG Wooshes. So sorry.
Good
User
as
upper
anyone's
net,
gonna do.
No,
quarterback,
you don't have to
Minnesota.
apologize.
Yeah. So quote from Chicago GM Painted: "Net is the greatest artist of all time. That alone made this an easy pick. While he has had a semi-controversial past, sugarcoating it, he's a blaster in game nights, and while he's currently a QB, he's open to playing anywhere, which fits well with us. We're happy to have you in Chicago." Yeah, Net's an interesting character. His antics have made me laugh many times, and now that I'm no longer in HO, I can probably laugh a little bit more freely at him than I used to. He's
I've heard Net
definitely
described as a lot of things, but I've never heard Net described as the greatest artist of all time, I think is what they said. That's quite a claim. That's
Net. You're gonna have to post your art in chat, whatever that may be, if you're there.
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh
Can't
my
wait
god.
to see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, with the 37th pick, the Otters select Bread Bowl, user Waldo, tight end for the Dallas Bird Dogs. Waldo, another longtime user in the ISFL who's had some amount of controversy during their time. I personally always had pretty great interactions with them. They were a teammate of mine in Kansas City on my first player. In S24 or whatever it was back then. And I think they've demonstrated a lot of growth over time. I think when they first joined, they were like, I don't know, 12 or 13 or something. So got up to a lot of annex back then, but I think they're a bit older, a bit wiser, and really excited to see what they do in the league this time around with this player. Excited to have them on the Otters. I think they're a great pickup this late in the draft.
Yeah, I hate that you guys are picking up the quality pieces at like highly good value.
I love them personally. I think it's very good.
All
All right,
right,
with
let's
the
get
38th pick, up again, Yellowknife selects Jason Quest, user Jason Kranz, running back for the Kansas City Coyotes. The way it was ordered in my notes was opposite of how I expected. Jason West. Yellowknife says, "It's telling that we had at least 3 other teams in their DMs looking to trade up to snag this particular user. He may not be the highest unit earner, but Jason is as steady as they come and has been a great teammate in Kansas City, and they're really happy to have him on board in the Wraiths locker room."
no objections here.
All right. Next up, Sarasota.
All right, Sarasota. That's right. With the 39th overall pick, the Sarasota Sailfish select Swat Pars, aka Lucas Stevenson, wide receiver of the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Um, with from the notes here, 24 media articles in about a month's time. If you hadn't heard of,
I think
oh
that's
wait, wrong one.
yep. I read that one already.
That's the wrong one. That's fine. Oh,
Womp,
wrong
womp,
one. We
womp.
were excited to pick up. My bad. We were excited to pick up a playmaker with the potential of Lucas Stevenson here. With the aging Nick Capricolin Jr., rest in peace, fantasy legend, on his way out soon, Stevenson will have a little more time to develop before joining the Sailfish wide receiver core. We can't wait to work with swap bars, and get him acquainted with the Sarasota locker room. Pretty much just a depth pick, to help out their quarterback Willie Miller. Good pick, especially this late in the draft.
Solid pick here, solid pick. All
And
right.
okay, so Honolulu. So at the 40th overall pick in this draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select Wildfire Micros, Sailor Moon, running back for the Norfolk Seawolves. Now, let me
Um,
see the
I have so many um,
Wild. All right,
disagreements
so here
with
it's like Wild.
Wildfire falling that low, but going with the gym notes.
Yeah. So the notes here say Wildfire Micro to be here at this pick is a gigantic steal. They know their way around leagues, and the upside here is huge. We couldn't be happy with such a great pick this late in the draft. Oh yeah, I agree with Ice Bear. Hell of it, probably the steal of the draft. Not even arguably the steal of the draft right here. And
It's,
I've played with Micro on the basketball league. Rest in peace. Great, I've had great interactions with them. So, like, huge steal right here.
I mean, we're talking about a close to max earner, 235 TP at that stage of the draft is a midday robbery by Honolulu.
Yeah, very.
If it
Dang,
works,
Honolulu. Oh,
I mean, if I were a GM and let that user fall that low, I would regret it in the end.
definitely the steal of the draft.
Yep. And
Who's
moving on
who's
to pick 41 now. With the 41st overall pick, Arizona is making their first and only pick of the draft, picking Wave Cruz, tight end, Tijuana Luchadors, user some coach, and some draft notes from Arizona GM Simo. I had some great chats with some coach early on when he first joined the ISFL, so it was sad to see him go inactive. Would love for him to come back, so we'll reach out now that the draft is done. I know we were punching air when Wildfire got picked. He seemed to be a steal there. We had to settle with Mr. Some Coach. So hopefully you come back, bud. Would love to have you as a teammate.
Yeah, I think if they come back, this user could also be definitely one of the steals of the draft. I don't know how likely it is to happen, but like they took the league by storm when they first joined. They were writing tons of really insightful media, advanced stats. I think they joined the
Mhm.
All Pro voting team, but then went IA before they did any All Pro voting. So I would love to have them back in the league, even if it is on Arizona.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Ugh.
Great pick here, though. I think with the sole Arizona taking the draft, I think they did a good job.
I hated that Arizona actually did well here. And that, in any case, with the last pick of the third round, the 42nd overall pick, the Honolulu Hahalua select Tacoville, Alex Rosen, safety from the Portland Pythons. Wow, another good steal. To get a player this deep in the draft that's still updating here and there is a plus, and we had to jump on it. Hopefully, we can help them find their footing more in the league and find some enjoyment in Honolulu. Welcome to paradise.
Yeah, with
Taco's another guy I've been lucky to be teammates with. He's not a max earner or even a mid earner, but he's consistent. He pops into the locker room, and his player's been pretty good this season. So, hopefully that'll keep him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came pretty highly recommended by his GM Cord in our war room when we were talking about our last pick. His name came up. He's been good for them, so I think it's a good pick as well.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's
with
move on here.
with our penultimate pick in the first round of the first pick in the fourth round, we select Duke Merritt, Shucks McShuckle O-line for the Minnesota Grey Ducks. At this point, you know, like every other GM here is just pretty much trying to find diamonds in the rough, you know. And even though he's been a bit inactive, you know, you can never go wrong with getting a human O-line, even if they're on the lower end of TPE. He's been a bit inactive, so I'd hope he can come back. But still getting a human O-line, even if it, you know, this late in the draft, is still a net positive with any team, rebuilding or otherwise.
Did you just take the player with a purple render to make it easier for the graphics team? Because if so, I think that's very nice.
It's clean.
Sure, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Right. Very kind of you. Good job.
All right.
Yes.
Next up, we have the Berlin Fire Salamanders, pick number 44 in here in round 4. And they will select Mike Gesicki, user Mosaic26, a tight end from the Portland Pythons. We're happy to get Mosaic at the 44th pick. While not having the highest CPE, they did write some excellent media on how Wolfie McDummy is the worst Hall of Fame QB. Agreed. They recently had an update helping them break their 100 CPE barrier, and we look forward to having them on the team and looking forward to them writing more media about Infinite's players in the near future. Welcome to Berlin.
Most is in a similar class to Tacoville, where he might not be a max earner. He's a consistent earner who's nice and present in the Portland locker room and is a good teammate. It's good to see him getting a chance in the big leagues, and I think Berlin got a very solid value here. Tight end doesn't need to be the highest TPE to have an impact. I think he's a real shot of hitting 500-600 TPE and being a good solid player.
Yep, very much agree.
Agreed. Okay, Moby, one more time.
Yeah, pretty much. So with our last pick of the draft, we select ADM Smith, aka Thomas Ferguson, cornerback from Portland. Essentially at this point, we try to get value of a diamond in the rough. You know, ADM Smith is IA, but if he can return, good depth piece and insurance on that side of the ball. I got nothing more to add.
Yeah, I have nothing to add either. Let's hope that he has returned.
Yeah, get excited about the league as they've been drafted and continue earning.
Yep.
All right.
And then
Moving on to pick number 46 for the Colorado Yeti. They are going to select linebacker Craig Bartholomew, user Dilly Dilly Jose from the Dallas Bird Dogs. Let's see what the GM say. When you see a name like Bartholomew left on the board, you just have to take them and hope you can make something out of it. Succinct and short. I mean, Jose is inactive, but I think that the Colorado GMs, if they manage to reach out and reach them, they may be able to bring them back. I mean, Steg has been on the other side of that, being IA, having a GM reach out and bring them in the league, so there is the knowledge there.
Yeah, this was the point of the draft where I make my big board of like which names are the best, and I agree with Colorado that John Bartholomew was the best name left on the board, so good value here.
Steal.
Yeah.
All right, so keeping us rolling on to pick 47. New York Silverbacks select Chris Jackie, tight end, Bondi Beach Buccaneers, user Moonman13. And Zan had to say, this pick was out of this world. We are thrilled to get someone who is responding and chatting with us late in the draft, and we're excited to see what he can do. And if that's true and he's still active, that's real good value for the last round.
Mhm.
Out of this world. My God. Well done. All right. With the with the 48th pick, San Jose will select Abraham Madden, linebacker. These are Sandwich the OG from the London Royals. And San Jose is excited to have yet another Madden replacement. Sandwich visited the site a couple days ago, so they're hopeful that they'll be able to get in contact with him and get him up and running on the TPE train. So if you're watching Sandwich the OG, San Jose is really stoked to get you and can't wait to get to work together. London to San Jose pipeline is really strong, so I'll have a lot of his teammates as well to help him out.
All right. Moving on to Austin and pick 49. They will select kicker Otto Hall. All I'm seeing is a nice amount of TPE. And the GM notes are, and I quote, "This is a draft pick." All right? End quote. That's it.
Actually correct.
It is a draft pick indeed.
And a nice amount of TPE, so very good.
Yes.
Mhm.
Next up, we have Chicago. So whoever has Chicago.
To Chicago.
I think it's Siegel. He's muted.
There you go.
Sorry, everyone, just got DM'd. I'm way too popular for this. Sorry,
Oh,
with
my
the 50th overall pick, the Chicago Butchers select my favorite user in the entire freaking league, Big
Uh-oh.
Ed. Not Ed, quarterback,
Oh
Dallas
my.
Bird Dogs.
Field.
So, quote from
Field.
CC, we'll see how long he can keep himself from getting banned. Ed already DMs me multiple times a week, mostly about programming. I figure I might as well try to get him earned a bit. As someone who has posted his ban before, yeah, he does get banned a lot, but it's normally for largely harmless and usually amusing things. The
Oh
league is
no.
better with an active and mostly rule-following Ed in it. So, Ed, I assume you're watching. If you're not, I know you have a sixth sense whenever your name is said around here. Love to see you be a little bit more active and talking about something other than the Steelers, who suck.
Yes. Yes. Agreed.
Uh,
Hard agreed on that one.
I'm amused his render this time matches his name because it's not a Snorlax, so it's not Ed. There you go. The football player.
Oh
Boring.
boy.
All right. With the 51st pick of the draft, Orange County selected Murgatroyd Skittle, user Nigsh01, tight end from the Bondi Beach Buccaneers. Again, super high on my big board of names in this class, so really stoked to get him with the third to last pick in the draft. I think third to last. Pretty late pick. So yeah, really excited to see if he can live up to his name and start to earn a bit, and potentially again TE not a position where you need too much TP to make an impact. So we'd really love to have him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I have 52nd as well. For Yellowknife, they selected Tyrone Huckleberry, user Duke AK717, linebacker from Tijuana. They did not provide notes on this user, but I can imagine that they're excited to have the potential to work with them if they come back to the league and start earning TP, and they'd love to have you reach out to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And with the last pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant here, or not so much, is John Roney, user Roney027. It's an online. I also have no notes here, but it's again a case of, I mean, you have no other option, and you just hope they come back when you reach out to them and make something out of nothing, basically.
Yep. Yeah. Very much.
And that's the draft.
Yes, it is. The draft
It's been a very
has
fun.
ended. It's been fun.
Yeah,
I don't know if
congratulations to everyone who was drafted. I think a lot of teams got a lot of really great players. I think this is a really good class with a ton of talent, as we saw, especially in the second round. There were just first round talents going at every pick, it seemed like. So, really great class. Really excited to see what you all do.
Mhm.
All right. And with that, we want to thank you for joining us tonight for this presentation. I want to thank my co-hosts, Slate, Moby, and Zigo, for being here with me. And I want to wish everyone a good night, a good morning, a good evening, wherever you are, and enjoy your weekends. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone.